Do you want to successfully complete the WGU D368 Objective Assessment for Enterprise Risk Management course? Then you're in the right place. Our website provides a list of questions and answers, with an emphasis on preparing for your success in the Enterprise Risk Management D368 course. In this video, we will cover questions from risk management, risk mitigation, risk assessment, risk strategy, and company risk. So, let's get started. 1. A financial institution offers loans to people with low credit ratings, taking on more credit risk than competitors. How does this institution compare with competitors in terms of risk management? A. It has a lower risk tolerance. B. It has a higher risk appetite. C. It has a conservative risk strategy. D. It has a risk avoidance strategy. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. It has a higher risk appetite. Explanation. Risk appetite refers to the amount of risk an organization is willing to take to achieve its goals. By lending to high-risk customers, the institution demonstrates a higher risk appetite compared to competitors. 2. A company experiences a data breach due to human error, leading to the dissemination of trade secret information. Which risk mitigation step should the company take to reduce future risks? A. Increase marketing efforts. B. Replace key personnel. C. Add a secondary control procedure. D. Reduce the workforce. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Add a secondary control procedure. Explanation. Adding a secondary control helps prevent similar errors in the future by introducing an additional layer of protection, thus mitigating the risk of data breaches. 3. A wood furniture manufacturer faces rising timber prices and increasing transport costs due to changing weather conditions. What adjustment should the company make to its risk management profile? A. Focus on marketing efforts. B. Increase production. C. Adjust procurement cost risk. D. Ignore market fluctuations. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Adjust procurement cost risk. Explanation. The company should address the increasing procurement costs due to changes in external factors like weather conditions, which directly impact timber prices and transport costs. 4. A company is struggling to manage risks associated with the technological advancements in its industry. The firm is using outdated technology, which is leading to inefficiencies. What does this exemplify in risk terms? A. Risk driver. B. Risk mitigation. C. Risk transference. D. Risk avoidance. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. A. Risk driver. Explanation. Outdated technology acts as a risk driver, contributing to inefficiencies and posing a threat to the company's ability to compete effectively. 5. A company's employees are failing to implement risk protocols on an assembly line despite committing to safety. What should the company focus on to achieve compliance? A. Hiring more employees. B. Explicitly communicating risk procedures. C. Changing leadership. D. Reducing employee tasks. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Explicitly communicating risk procedures. Explanation. Clear communication of risk protocols helps employees understand their importance and ensures adherence to safety measures, reducing the risk of accidents. 6. A company is facing regulatory scrutiny due to failing contract oversight audits. What structural change should the organization implement to mitigate this compliance risk? A. Increase salaries. B. Add more contractors. C. Build risk awareness into directors' performance goals. D. Outsource all contracts. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Build risk awareness into directors' performance goals. Explanation. Linking risk awareness to performance goals encourages directors to prioritize compliance and contract oversight, mitigating future risks. 7. A company has experienced significant stock price declines due to market volatility. What should the company focus on to manage this equity price risk? A. Increase investment in marketing. B. Hedge against price fluctuations. C. Reduce the workforce. D. Cease operations. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Hedge against price fluctuations. Explanation. Hedging helps the company protect itself from market volatility by using financial instruments to offset potential losses caused by equity price risks. 8. A shoe manufacturer faces frequent equipment breakdowns and plans to purchase equipment breakdown insurance. Which risk management strategy is the company using? A. Risk retention. B. Risk avoidance. C. Risk sharing. D. Risk transfer. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. D. Risk transfer. Explanation. By purchasing equipment breakdown insurance, the company is transferring the financial burden of potential equipment failures to the insurance provider. 9. A company undergoes a scenario planning exercise to analyze risks related to new consumer behaviors. How should the company incorporate these insights into its risk management strategy? A. By ignoring the results. B. By incorporating the risk insights into strategic planning. C. By increasing salaries. D. By eliminating non-essential roles. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. By incorporating the risk insights into strategic planning. Explanation. Integrating scenario planning. Insights into the company's strategy helps ensure that potential risks are addressed in decision-making. 10. A company's board has delegated risk oversight to a risk oversight committee. What action should the committee take to fulfill its role effectively? A. Report to shareholders. B. Keep communication channels open with leaders. C. Increase executive salaries. D. Avoid reporting risks. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Keep communication channels open with leaders. Explanation. Open communication with leaders allows the committee to stay informed of emerging risks and ensure effective oversight. 11. A technology company is assessing risks related to launching a new AI platform. Which approach should the company take to measure and assess these risks effectively? A. Ignore market trends. B. Implement a dynamic risk assessment framework. C. Outsource risk management. D. Cease AI development. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Implement a dynamic risk assessment framework. Explanation. A dynamic risk assessment framework allows the company to continuously evaluate the risks associated with the evolving tech industry and adjust its strategy accordingly. 12. A company is expanding its operations into a country with high geopolitical risk. What type of risk mitigation strategy should the company consider? A. Risk sharing. B. Risk retention. C. Risk avoidance. D. Risk acceptance. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Risk sharing. Explanation. Risk sharing, such as partnering with local entities, helps the company spread the risks associated with geopolitical instability while benefiting from local expertise. 13. A CFO has been tasked with assessing the financial impact of possible risks to the company's supply chain. What should the CFO focus on when making this assessment? A. Advertising costs. B. Opportunity costs of missed sales. C. Employee satisfaction. D. Expansion into new markets. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Opportunity costs of missed sales. Explanation. The CFO should consider the opportunity costs associated with supply chain disruptions, including missed sales and their impact on the company's profitability. 14. A company's chief financial officer, CFO, has increased risk tolerance after a pause in interest rate hikes by the central bank. What risk should the CFO account for when increasing risk tolerance? A. Decreased employee retention. B. Financing cost increases if interest rates rise again. C. Market share decline. D. Decreased advertising costs. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Financing cost increases if interest rates rise again. Explanation. The CFO should consider the potential risk of rising interest rates, which could increase the company's financing costs if it takes on more debt. 15. A company has experienced a ransomware attack. The IT team is conducting vulnerability scanning and implementing patch management. Which types of controls are they using? A. Do you know the answer? Corrective and compensatory. B. Detective and preventive. C. Directive and compensatory. D. Corrective and preventive. Correct answer. B. Detective and preventive. Explanation. Vulnerability scanning is a detective control that identifies potential security gaps, while patch management is a preventive control aimed at mitigating those vulnerabilities before they are exploited. 16. A company relies heavily on third-party vendors for payroll services. Which risk mitigation strategy should it implement to reduce the risk of payroll fraud? A. Risk avoidance. B. Implement reconciliation of payroll reports. C. Increase employee salaries. D. Eliminate third-party services. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Implement reconciliation of payroll reports. Explanation. Reconciling payroll reports with internal records helps ensure that any discrepancies, such as fraud or errors, are identified and addressed promptly. 17. A company is planning to expand its product line into a new market, but faces regulatory challenges. How should the company manage this strategic risk? A. Risk avoidance. B. Risk retention. C. Risk transfer. D. Risk sharing. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. D. Risk sharing. Explanation. Sharing the risk through partnerships or joint ventures allows the company to mitigate the impact of regulatory challenges while still pursuing expansion. 18. A company is using a project management dashboard to monitor development progress. Several projects remain in possible delay or unmitigated disaster status. How should the company address this issue? A. Increase the project budget. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. C. Ignore the status and proceed. D. Hire additional project managers. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. Explanation. Creating targeted action plans ensures that projects facing delays receive focused attention to mitigate issues and meet deadlines. 19. A company has decided to outsource non-core functions to free up resources. Which question should the team address in the decision document? A. How can we reduce our marketing costs? B. What are the key concerns that must be addressed to ensure performance? C. How can we increase our product line? D. What is the total cost of outsourcing? Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. What are the key concerns that must be addressed to ensure performance? Explanation. Focusing on key performance concerns ensures that outsourcing does not negatively impact core business objectives or service quality. 20. A software company is assessing the potential risks of launching a new AI platform in a rapidly changing industry. What risk assessment approach should the company take? A. Focus solely on financial risks. B. Conduct exploratory scenario planning sessions. C. Avoid risk analysis. D. Cease the project. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Conduct exploratory scenario planning sessions. Explanation. Exploratory scenario planning helps the company assess long-term risks and uncertainties in a dynamic, evolving industry, providing valuable insights for strategic decisions. 21. A manufacturing company is experiencing increased costs due to supply chain disruptions. How should the company address this issue? A. Expand its production lines. B. Implement a feedback loop between risk owners and business managers. C. Reduce employee salaries. D. Stop sourcing from global markets. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Implement a feedback loop between risk owners and business managers. Explanation. A feedback loop allows for continuous evaluation of risk response strategies and helps improve the efficiency of managing supply chain disruptions. 22. A company is expanding its operations into a new country with significant political risks. What risk mitigation strategy should the company consider? A. Risk avoidance. B. Risk sharing. C. Risk retention. D. Risk transfer. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Risk sharing. Explanation. Sharing risks through joint ventures or partnerships helps the company spread its exposure to political risks while benefiting from local knowledge and expertise. 23. A company's risk officer is facilitating a risk workshop, but participants are losing interest. What should the risk officer do to maintain engagement? A. Encourage lengthy theoretical discussions. B. Avoid encouraging lengthy descriptions of underlying theories. C. Increase the number of participants. D. Use more complex terms to spark interest. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Avoid encouraging lengthy descriptions of underlying theories. Explanation. Keeping the discussion focused and avoiding long theoretical explanations ensures participants remain engaged and the workshop stays productive. 24. A company is expanding into a market where supply chain disruptions are common. What should the risk management team assess when conducting a risk evaluation? A. Employee satisfaction. B. Risk acceptance criteria. C. Market share. D. Production costs. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Risk acceptance criteria. Explanation. Risk acceptance criteria help the company determine how much risk it is willing to accept regarding supply chain disruptions and what actions are necessary to mitigate these risks. 25. A company is launching a new product, but market research shows declining consumer confidence due to rising unemployment. What type of risk does this scenario exemplify? A. Market risk. B. Operational risk. C. Sovereign risk. D. Economic risk. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Economic risk. Explanation. Economic risk arises from external factors such as unemployment rates, which can negatively affect consumer confidence, and subsequently, product sales. 26. A CFO has been tasked with reassessing the company's debt ISDA risk due to recent changes in central bank monetary policy. What should the CFO account for when increasing the company's risk tolerance? A. Decreased market share. B. Potential interest rate increases. C. Declining customer satisfaction. D. Reduced marketing expenses. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Potential interest rate increases. Explanation. The CFO should consider the risk of rising interest rates, which could increase the cost of borrowing if the company takes on additional debt. 27. A company has experienced multiple project delays and is using a project management dashboard to monitor progress. What should the company do to ensure timely project launches? A. Increase the budget for each project. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. C. Hire more project managers. D. Cease work on delayed projects. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. Explanation. Targeted action plans allow the company to address the specific causes of project delays and take corrective measures to ensure on-time delivery. 28. A retail company is managing risks associated with offering credit to customers. What approach should it take to optimize financial performance while managing this risk? A. Cease offering credit. B. Accept some level of bad debts to maximize sales growth. C. Raise interest rates. D. Reduce the number of credit accounts. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Accept some level of bad debts to maximize sales growth. Explanation. Accepting a certain level of bad debts helps the company balance sales growth with risk, ensuring that credit offerings remain financially beneficial. 29. A company is assessing risks related to geopolitical instability in a foreign market. Which risk management strategy should the company adopt? A. Risk avoidance. B. Risk transfer. C. Risk sharing. D. Risk retention. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Risk sharing. Explanation. Sharing risks with a local partner through a joint venture allows the company to mitigate the impact of geopolitical risks while still pursuing market opportunities. 30. A company is developing an AI platform and wants to assess risks related to technological changes. What risk management approach should the company take? A. Implement dynamic risk assessment. B. Ignore market changes. C. Hire more employees. D. Increase marketing efforts. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Implement dynamic risk assessment. Explanation. A dynamic risk assessment framework allows the company to continuously evaluate technological risks and adapt its strategy to stay competitive in the evolving AI industry. Struggling with your WGU exams? We've all been there. Welcome to OAExams.com, your ultimate resource for WGU success. Find over 15,000 plus questions and answers. Join our thriving community of over 10,000 active WGU students and an impressive 100% success rate with our premium exam support. Visit OAExams.com today and take the first step toward guaranteed success. 31. A company is considering entering a new market with high growth potential but significant operational risks. What should the company do to manage these risks? A. Enter the market without further assessment. B. Share the risk through a joint venture. C. Increase its marketing budget. D. Focus only on financial risks. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Share the risk through a joint venture. Explanation. Forming a joint venture helps the company manage the operational risks of entering a new market by sharing responsibilities and benefits with a local partner. 32. A company is launching a new product, and management is conducting a risk assessment. What additional information should the risk management team consider when assessing the product launch risk? A. Incremental information. B. Existing marketing materials. C. Employee satisfaction levels. D. Supply chain structure. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Incremental information. Explanation. Incremental information is necessary when assessing new product launch risks, as it provides a deeper understanding of potential market dynamics and risks. 33. A company's chief financial officer, CFO, is evaluating the impact of different risks on the company's supply chain. What cost should the CFO prioritize in this evaluation? A. Employee benefits. B. Opportunity costs of missed sales. C. Advertising costs. D. Expansion costs. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Opportunity costs of missed sales. Explanation. Opportunity costs of missed sales due to supply chain disruptions represent a significant risk to the company's profitability and should be a focus of the CFO's evaluation. 34. A multinational company is entering a market with high political instability. What should the company do to manage the risk of supply chain disruptions and regulatory changes? A. Risk avoidance. B. Risk sharing. C. Risk retention. D. Risk transference. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Risk sharing. Explanation. Risk sharing, such as forming local partnerships, allows the company to distribute the risks associated with political instability while benefiting from local expertise. 35. A company has seen steady declines in sales over the past year. What risk management strategy should the company adopt to mitigate the risk of further sales losses? A. Cease operations. B. Increase marketing. C. Implement preventive measures to address risk drivers. D. Hire more employees. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. C. Implement preventive measures to address risk drivers. Explanation. Addressing risk drivers such as market trends or product demand declines allows the company to mitigate the risk of further sales losses and improve performance. 36. A company faces frequent product quality issues due to outdated equipment. What risk management strategy should the company adopt to mitigate these issues? A. Risk transfer. B. Purchase equipment breakdown insurance. C. Ignore the problem. D. Replace the outdated equipment. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. D. Replace the outdated equipment. Explanation. Replacing outdated equipment helps the company mitigate the risk of frequent breakdowns and product quality issues by addressing the root cause. 37. A company is expanding its operations into a market with high geopolitical risk. Which strategy would help the company manage this risk? A. Risk transference. B. Risk avoidance. C. Risk sharing. D. Risk retention. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. C. Risk sharing. Explanation. Sharing risks through partnerships or joint ventures allows the company to mitigate geopolitical risks while leveraging local expertise and resources. 38. A company is using scenario planning to assess the risk of a product launch in a highly competitive market. What should the company prioritize in this assessment? A. Employee satisfaction. B. Market dynamics and competition. C. Expansion into new markets. D. Increasing salaries. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Market dynamics and competition. Explanation. Prioritizing market dynamics and competition helps the company assess the potential risks of launching a new product in a competitive environment and make informed decisions. 39. A retail company is expanding its product line and conducting a risk assessment. What additional elements should the company consider when expanding its risk register? A. Risk identification. B. Employee training. C. Customer satisfaction. D. Marketing budget. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Risk identification. Explanation. Risk identification is crucial when expanding a product line, as it helps the company identify new risks associated with the expansion and include them in its risk register. 40. A company has experienced several project delays, causing missed deadlines. What corrective action should the company take to mitigate future delays? A. Hire more employees. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. C. Increase project budgets. D. Ignore the delays. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. B. Develop targeted action plans for delayed projects. Explanation. Developing targeted action plans helps the company address the root causes of project delays and take corrective action to meet future deadlines. 41. A company is expanding its operations into a country with high political instability. What risk management strategy should the company consider? A. Risk retention. B. Risk sharing. C. Risk avoidance. D. Risk transference. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Risk sharing. Explanation. Risk sharing through partnerships or joint ventures allows the company to mitigate the risks associated with political instability by spreading responsibility with local partners. 42. A company is conducting a risk assessment for a new AI platform. What should the company prioritize in this assessment? A. Marketing costs. B. Technological changes and innovations. C. Employee satisfaction. D. Supply chain structure. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. B. Technological changes and innovations. Explanation. Prioritizing technological changes and innovations ensures that the company assesses the potential risks of developing an AI platform in a rapidly evolving industry. 43. A company is expanding its product line into a new market and conducting a risk assessment. What additional information should the risk management team consider? A. Incremental information. B. Employee satisfaction levels. C. Advertising costs. D. Market trends. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Incremental information. Explanation. Incremental information provides a deeper understanding of the risks associated with new product launches and helps the company make informed decisions. 44. A company is using Monte Carlo simulations to assess the risks of launching a new product. What tool should the company use to visualize key uncertainties? A. Risk map. B. Tornado diagram. C. Market research. D. Advertising data. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. B. Tornado diagram. Explanation. A tornado diagram helps visualize key uncertainties in Monte Carlo simulations, allowing the company to identify the factors that have the greatest impact on the project. 45. A company is conducting scenario planning to test its ability to manage market risks. What should the company prioritize in this planning exercise? A. Employee satisfaction. B. Customer satisfaction. C. Market dynamics and competition. D. Increasing salaries. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. C. market dynamics and competition. Explanation. Prioritizing market dynamics and competition ensures that the company assesses the potential risks of market changes and prepares strategies to manage these risks effectively. 46. A company has experienced frequent equipment breakdowns and is considering purchasing insurance. What risk management strategy is the company using? A. Risk transference. B. Risk avoidance. C. Risk retention. D. Risk reduction. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Risk transference. Explanation. Purchasing insurance transfers the financial burden of potential equipment breakdowns to the insurance provider, reducing the company's exposure to these risks. 47. A company is expanding its product line and conducting a risk assessment. What additional elements should the risk management team consider in this assessment? A. Incremental information. B. Employee training. C. Advertising costs. D. Customer satisfaction. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Incremental information. Explanation. Incremental information provides a deeper understanding of the risks associated with new product launches and helps the company make informed decisions. 48. A company is using Monte Carlo simulations to assess the risks of a new product launch. What should the company include in its report to facilitate a productive discussion with management? A. A chart showing the likelihood of different project outcomes. B. Employee satisfaction data. C. Advertising costs. D. Supply chain structure. Do you know the answer? Correct answer. A. A chart showing the likelihood of different project outcomes. Explanation. A chart from the Monte Carlo simulation provides management with a visual representation of the likelihood of different outcomes, facilitating a more informed discussion. 49. A company is using scenario planning to test its ability to manage supply chain disruptions. What should the company prioritize in this assessment? A. Employee satisfaction. B. Market dynamics and competition. C. Production costs. D. Supply chain structure. Can you guess the answer? Correct answer. D. Supply chain structure. Explanation. Assessing the supply chain structure helps the company identify potential risks associated with supply chain disruptions and develop strategies to mitigate these risks. 50. A company is expanding its operations into a new country with significant political risks. What risk mitigation strategy should the company consider? A. Risk sharing. B. Risk avoidance. C. Risk retention. D. Risk transference. What do you think is the answer? Correct answer. A. Risk sharing. Explanation. Sharing risk through partnerships or joint ventures allows the company to mitigate the risks associated with political instability by spreading responsibility with local partners. You've reached the end of our first question set. For the complete exam preparation experience, visit us at OAExams.com, where you'll find thousands more practice questions and comprehensive study guides. Thanks for studying with us today. See you in the next video.